today. From Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, this is the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles taking on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at two different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30. A big play there on the first play of the game. 45 yards. That's some early fireworks on the first play from scrimmage.
The last fireworks I saw, July 4th, okay? Here they are celebrating the start of this game the exact same way. Explosive right out of the gate.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. It really gets them amped up as they go forward.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Throwing is Hurts. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another. That's going to set up 1st and goal.
So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Hurts. This is caught. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go that sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Sanders is into the end zone for an Eagle touchdown. A finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it, and catch it, and he gets it done.
For the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. 5 plays there on that drive, and it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
Mahomes now on first down. Buying time to his left. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Four yards remain for 2nd down. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Jerick McKinnon, his first carry of the ball game. And that's going to be a Chiefs first down as good running gets him to about the 44. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
On first down, McKinnon again. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 42. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On 1st and 10. Here's Mahomes. Another pass into the reliable hands of Kelsey. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And they'll work this down inside the 30. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
To the 27-yard line.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Mahomes. Dancing to his left. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a 1st down.
First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. They'll try to run this one in, and he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Chiefs respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Taken in at the 3. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. The 40. Still going inside the 30. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
Elliott now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. And what a job there by all 11 on the kick return. The blocking excellent, the return excellent. The result, 6 points. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. Taken at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Mahomes to throw. Open man here. It's the tight end, Kelsey. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
They had 2 tight ends in the formation on that one. It looked to me like he had his pick of receivers downfield.
I think he was just planning on going over the middle. That's what he did.
Picked up first down, too.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. From the gun, they will run with McKinnon. And he's got some space here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 53 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Gets it to Hardman, a jet sweep. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely, pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
4 yards remain on 2nd down, ball on the 10. Now Mahomes. And it's caught. And the Chiefs are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Kelsey out in the slot right. Mahomes now to throw. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Now here's Mahomes. And he'll just get rid of it.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
This Eagle defense, they won't give in without a fight. This is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from drawing level. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Butker on for the PAT. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
Hurts throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Hurts going to give it to Sanders on the option. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 32-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Hurts sets up to throw it. Now the ball comes loose, and I think the Chiefs have it. They do. And that play just looked a little helter-skelter from the start. That's the risk as a quarterback. Once you take off with that football, you might fumble it, and he did.
And he was going for the reward, which is gaining yardage, breaking down a defense. But you're right about the risk. Always lurking out there, someone always trying to get to the football. Try to find a place to cover up and slide and protect what you've earned.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 13. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Straight ahead they go with McKinnon. And down he'll go at the 25. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
On first down, Mahomes completes it to Hardman. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? On 2nd and inches, Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. Pretty entertaining start. 14-all the score on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a give. This is McKinnon. Taken down at the 42.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle, feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 45-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Mahomes going to throw. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. In their locker room, they've got a sign that says defense wins championships. And, Charles, they pointed to that this week, said that has to be us. Looking good early.
I like how you saw that because of the bold letters, right? You saw the emphasis that they place on that and what they believe in. And for them, it's every single snap. So it's not just a matter of getting to the quarterback and knocking the ball free. They're trying to read when that ball's going to come free. As soon as those hands separate to throw the ball, they want to be there and have a chance to knock it out.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
From the 30 on second down. Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got a man, it's Brown. And he'll be dropped just shy of the 35 at the 34. A pickup of 17 on a play that originated at the 17. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. They'll set up a throw. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that will bring up second down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Looking to throw again on second down. Hurts. Hurts fumbles it. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up first and 10 at their own 21. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The end result, 21 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Mahomes. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Looking to throw. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the 1st down. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 13. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Quick slant to Brown. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. They go play action with Hurts. And that's going to be caught downfield by Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Another 1st down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Back to throw here. Over the middle to Smith. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 1st downs. They're taking it to him, and it's paying off.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory, right at the 40. Back to throw again. And this is caught by Watkins. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
He kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Play action. Here's Hurts. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 12-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. That is caught at the 7-yard line. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's 2nd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. From the 5, 2nd and 4. It'll be Hurts on the option. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Hurts. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Elliott is good, and they take a 17-14 lead. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that. But let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Jerick McKinnon making his way back onto the field. They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen and put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get in.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 62 yards. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Butker now to add the extra point. It's up and good to make it 21-17. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. That's George Karlaftis, who fought his way through the line to bury him. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. Now back to throw. This one incomplete. Almost picked off by the rookie, but he couldn't quite look it in. And now it's 4th down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. Back deep is Kadarius Toney. Dances by him. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Jerick McKinnon making his way back onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And this one is incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Throwing now is Mahomes. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Oh, nice defensive effort there, providing the hit as the ball got to the receiver, separates him from the catch, and normally he's a sure-handed target.
On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. It'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. And this one complete to Smith. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That'll put him at an even 50 receiving yards now in this first half. And it's a 1st down. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first half highlights and analysis from a back and forth first half that we've seen. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Hurts. Out route pass complete to Goddard. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Throwing is Hurts. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He delivers another to Goddard, complete. And the Eagles are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Ask any pass rusher, and they'll tell you any quarterback who lines up every time and goes straight back in the pocket, that's who they want. But when they have to deal with a Jalen Hurts who may come at them from any angle and can get outside of the pocket and run, that's a nightmare for anybody who has to rush the quarterback. And I love Jalen Hurts' athletic ability. Almost a 4.6 runner. This guy can get outside the pocket and make plays with his legs as well as his arm.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. They're going to look to throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. George Karlaftis. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Back and forth, we win in that first half. This has certainly been an entertaining one to watch thus far. So let's get right back out to it as we'll rejoin our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Ready for the start of the 3rd quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And the half will begin with a touchback. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line can play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
36 yards on the play.
So when's the best time to take the big shots downfield? When you think a defense least expects it, and I think the first play of the 3rd quarter qualifies. They came right out firing. That's how you send a message to start the second half of a game.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Handoff, it's McKinnon. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, in every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Mahomes. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. So 2nd and 4 from the 22. Mahomes now to throw to Valdez-Scantling over the middle. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Mahomes to MVS there for the Kansas City first.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Brandon Graham applied the heat off the edge.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, it still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. They go draw play to McKinnon. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a gain of 4, but it'll bring us now to a 3rd and goal.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Butker's kick here is good, and they will open their lead up to a touchdown at 24-17. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the 2nd half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. Again, that's Watkins. Calling and a gain of 6 on the play, and it's second down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
From the 40 now on second down. Hurts. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 49-yard line. Hurts sets up to throw it. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Again, he'll drop to throw. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there are going to take this to about the 10-yard line. And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper and a 1st down. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. He'll look to throw. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Hurts. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll drop to throw. He will find Smith in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Eagles are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. So a strong drive here to lead off this 3rd quarter. That has them an extra point away from tying things up.
And partner, this is pretty much what they envisioned when they were sitting there in the locker room thinking about getting things going to start here in the 3rd quarter. Getting out there, a field goal would have been fine, but going ahead and scoring here, an extra point away from tying things up, that's exactly how they drew it up on the board.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that will tie us at 24. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was finished off by a touchdown from Devontae Smith. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Chiefs ready to rock again on offense. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. Mahomes going to throw. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Here's McKinnon. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Brandon Graham picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And you get the feeling, Charles, yeah, he's got the 2 sacks now, but he may get more here. We still got a quarter and then some to go.
And the way that he is playing this game, it reminds me of one of the best golfers in the world who can use every club in the bag and make a great shot. That's what he's doing with his pass rush moves right now, showing a little bit of everything. They have no way of stopping him.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to kick it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down. Defensively, they were all over that. When he decided to keep it, there were a lot of eyes just darted on him.
I wonder if he followed the progressions properly there. I think maybe he really wanted to run with the football. Turned out not to be the correct decision.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
That one goes for 24 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
From just shy of midfield, Mahomes finding Gray on the out route. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Mahomes now on 1st down. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 23. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And again, it's Mahomes. Completes it to Hardman. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
On 1st down, Mahomes. Touchdown! Marquez Valdez-Scantling bringing in that one for Patrick Mahomes. And the Chiefs have moved out in front here in the final minute of the 3rd quarter.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Butker on for the PAT. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They start up, and now a fumble. The ball's out. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. This defense tough to run against, and those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the 2nd level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. He finds McKinnon, complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
On 3rd down, they'll try and run for it on the draw. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
So a big one coming now for Harrison Butker. This to make it a 2-score game. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a two-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 27. He'll throw from the gun. His throw incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
He'll look to throw. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. Now there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw, it's Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. And Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Up the middle they go with Sanders. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. Second and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Hurts is going to try and run. And this is going to be an Eagles first down as he's able to get this up to the 37-yard line.
Partner, those are back-to-back 6-yard runs, and if they're going to continue to get those types of plays, shoot, you just keep running the same stuff, don't you?
Yeah, it was 1st and 10, then 2nd and 4. Now 1st and 10 again. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
But first down, Hurts. Oh, no, he lost the football. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. A dump down to McKinnon. Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll make it 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. The Chiefs on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing now is Mahomes. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he's on to kick it away. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. Right now, they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football is certainly paramount right now.
Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it, and if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board.
Chris Jones able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. They'll look to throw here. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Hurts to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
Butker now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Hurts. And it's a fumble, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's a give up the middle. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside, not easily covered. And then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. Looking underneath, and he finds McKinnon. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
2 yards left on second down from the 9. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them. On 2nd and goal. Mahomes, and that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey there to make the grab as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead is now 24. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it culminates in a Travis Kelsey touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together. and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're...
Hurts fumbles it, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And some room to maneuver. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Extra point by Butker is on target. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Back to throw now on 1st down. Oh, Brown, a nice catch. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. They'll look to throw again. Forced out to his left. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. third down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. The kick by Elliott is good. And now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now this Chiefs offense gets set to go again. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say so long from Philly.